Her boss called her the perfect pawn. He didn't know I was listening, or that I would destroy him.
I was just about to leave the party when a single sentence froze me in my tracks. I'd already told my wife, Elena, that I was heading home early. Julian Thorne, the charismatic founder of the Blue Earth Foundation and Elena's boss, was hosting another one of his over-the-top gatherings in his penthouse. These events always felt like a weird mix of charity and performance art, where rich donors paraded around, pretending to save the world while talking stock prices like they were endangered species. I kissed Elena on the temple, told her I'd see her later, and started walking toward the elevator. To get there, I had to pass Julian S. private library, a massive room filled with leather-bound books that no one had ever actually seen him read. The door was just slightly ajar. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but Julian's voice drifted out, dripping with smug confidence. So, Paul, Titan Minerals donates $10 million to our Clean Rivers project. It's fully tax-deductible. Then the foundation hires your subsidiary to implement the work in Gunna. He let out a little chuckle. Permits? Don't worry, I'll handle them. And your reputation after that whole forest clearing scandal? It'll be whiter than snow. It's not a bribe. It's synergy. I stopped breathing. And then he said something that made the scotch glass almost slip from my hand. Elena knows nothing. She needs to remain in the dark. She's our perfect engine honest, hardworking. She makes the whole operation look legitimate, my wife. The woman who believed in environmental justice with every fiber of her being, used as a pawn in a massive corruption scheme. I backed away before Julian could see me. Everything Elena had dedicated years of her life to, the long nights, the passionate fights for clean water projects, her unwavering belief in the foundation, it was all being exploited by a man using charity as a laundry machine for corporate reputations. Julian's biggest mistake wasn't his greed. It was underestimating Elena's husband. I left the building and jumped into a taxi, my mind already spinning, forming a strategy. Julian had no clue who he was up against. I dismantle fraudulent business models for a living. This was just another broken system waiting to collapse. Instead of going home, I told the driver to take me to my office in the Crawford building. By the time we got there, I had a rough plan. I spent hours digging through public financial records, cross-referencing donations, contracts, and international permits. The patterns emerged almost immediately, huge donations followed by suspiciously fast government approvals. Contracts were always given to donor-owned companies. Construction projects were wildly overpriced with almost no oversight. Titan Minerals was the crown jewel of his scheme-polluting rivers in South America, getting hit with heavy fines, then suddenly receiving a squeaky clean new image through Julian's foundation. When Elena came home that night, glowing about a new $5 million donation, I had to force myself to act normal. I couldn't just destroy her world with half-formed accusations. She needed protection, not panic. So I told her I wanted to help review some of the foundation's financial reports, just to keep her safe. She was a little surprised, but grateful. And that was the beginning of my quiet war. Over the next few weeks, I dug deeper, building my case piece by piece. But I needed more than just data. I needed a catalyst, a truly clean, transparent company whose honesty would indirectly expose Julian's corruption. That's when I found Aquavides. Run by Dr. Aina Sharma, it had the most advanced, cost-effective water filtration technology on the market. I convinced her to apply for a grant through the foundation. We crafted the perfect application. It was scientifically sound, socially impactful, and we made sure it got plenty of publicity. Julian couldn't reject it without looking suspicious. She got the grant. Then the pressure started. Aquavitas, with my guidance, demanded full transparency independent audits, public weekly progress updates, and scientific verification. All of this is perfectly normal for an ethical project, but absolutely deadly for a corrupt system. Elena started getting suspicious of how Julian was reacting. I just gave her gentle nudges, never pushing. Soon enough, she started investigating the foundation's contracts herself. She found exactly what I expected. Every major construction contract was tied to a donor company. Then Julian made his fatal mistake. He threatened her. He told her, "Loyalty is remembered, but betrayal is never forgotten." That was the final straw. I reached out to the one man who cared more about the Foundation's legacy than Julian's influence, Arthur Pennington, the heir to the family that founded Blue Earth decades ago. I met with him in person. I laid everything out, the donation contract loops, the permit scandals, the way Julian was exploiting Elena's integrity. Pennington was cold, calculating, and absolutely furious, not at me, at Julian. A week later, the board called an emergency meeting. Julian came out looking pale and defeated, escorted by security. Pennington called Elena inside. "Elena," he said, "Julian has resigned. We need someone with integrity to lead this foundation. The board unanimously chooses you." She was completely shocked. I was just relieved. The corruption was being cut out surgically without destroying the organization she loved. But when she came home that night, she confronted me. "You orchestrated this, didn't you?" I told her the truth, everything except for the darkest details that would have broken her heart. She was hurt that I didn't trust her with the full story from the start, and she was right. But she understood why I did it. Together, we rebuilt the foundation. Elena became president. She implemented transparent bidding processes, public accountability dashboards, and strict donor ethics policies. Staff morale soared. The corrupt donors fled, but ethical ones arrived to take their place. 2 years later, the Blue Earth Foundation became a global model for nonprofit governance. Julian vanished from public life, his empire quietly dismantled, and us? We rebuilt our trust. We became partners not just in marriage, but in purpose. We made the foundation better than it had ever been. One night, standing on our balcony looking out over the city, Elena whispered, "You know what Julian never understood? He thought idealists were naive. He never realized the most dangerous force in the world is someone who believes in something and has the right partner beside them." I kissed her hand. "We make a good team," I said. She smiled. "The perfect engine," she replied, "and the man who rewired the machine." Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.